Today I'm going to show you two different types of word problems, and we are going to figure out the problem structure before solving the problems. Once we figure out what kind of problem it is, we are going to solve the problem using strip diagrams to represent the relationship between quantities. And these problems are for third graders. So let's take a look at our first problem. First problem says, Kennedy had 10 apples. She gave some to John. Now she has 2 apples left. How many apples did she give to John? Now the first thing we're going to ask is what kind of problem this is. So let's look at this. Now we know that Kennedy started with 10 apples. So we can write our 10 right here. And we also know that she's left with 2 apples. So this would be our result. Now what we need to figure out is how many she gave away. So since she's giving away, we know that we would make our arrow like this. We would also know that this is a separate problem. We know that it's a separate problem because she is giving away. She's giving away some apples. And separate problems are commonly known as take away or take from problems, in which where part of the quantity is physically being removed or taking away. And we can see that 10 is being changed. Part of it is giving away to give us 2. So now that we know that it's a separate problem, we can begin to solve it using our strip diagrams. So we know that Kennedy has 10 apples. So let's use this strip to represent our 10. So we can write 10 and Kennedy's. So this will be Kennedy's apples. Now then we also know that she has 2 apples left. So we'll use a different strip, and this one will be smaller because it represents 2. So underneath I'll write 2, and I'm gonna write left because that's how many she has left. So what we're looking for is this part right here. It's our question mark, and it's how many she gave to John. So we can put a strip in to show that that's what we're looking for. And we can see that these 2 pieces equal 10. Now since we're looking for this, we know that we're going to subtract 10 from 2, or 2 from 10, to figure out what John's piece is. And we know that this is 8. So 8 would be how many apples she gave to John. And if we put 8 right here, we can see that 8 plus 2 equals 10, which is what Kennedy started with. Now for our next problem, let me erase this. Our next problem says, Sylvia has 20 more marbles than Rudy. Rudy has 30 marbles. How many marbles does Sylvia have? So since this problem is comparing Rudy's marbles to Sylvia's marbles by saying Sylvia has 20 more marbles than Rudy, we know that this is a comparison problem. And we know that it's a comparison problem because comparison problems involve comparing 2 quantities, and our 2 quantities are going to be Rudy's marbles and Sylvia's marbles. So now that we know what kind of problem it is, we can begin to solve for it. So first, let's see what we know. We know that Rudy has 30 marbles. So we can put out here a strip to represent Rudy's marbles. Ruby's 30 marbles. Can write Rudy. Now what we also know is Sylvia, so let's write Sylvia right here, has 20 more marbles. So if she has 20 more marbles, she will have the exact same amount plus 20 more. So we know that she has the same 30, but she also has 20 more. So this is going to be Sylvia's piece. So how do we find Sylvia's piece? What we need to do is add these together to represent 1. So let's add 30 and 20, which will give us 50. And this piece represents 50, which is also the number of marbles that Sylvia has.